Broadcasting from the depths of outer space.
Hello, I'm alive. I don't know what's going on.
By your command.
Fascinating.
God damn you all to hell!
It's the Sci-Fi Podcast.
Well, in the time in the distant past or the time in the distant future, from another galaxy in a universe far, far away, I present to you Michael Ball.
Thank you.
That's my podcast.
And my esteemed colleague, Mr. Martin Fowler, the other half of the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast. Hello, Martin.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to talk to you. Before we started recording, Martin was a little bit upset with roadworks outside his house, and understandably so. Do you want to just share a bit of this information with the world as this crap's going on your end?
Well, I woke up this morning at 7 o'clock. And it was sunny, and I opened the windows, and I thought, yes, my new bed's coming today. It's going to be wonderful. The decorators are in tomorrow. And then a load of machines turned up and they blocked the roads off. And I went outside. I said, what's going on? They said, we're shutting your street down for 3 weeks because we're doing stuff. I said, what about my deliveries? He said, you'll have to rearrange them. I said, you what?
What?
You know, so at the moment, I've got this big thing eating up the road, and loads of worker people, like road workers, all stood around. You know, it's amazing, isn't it? When you're travelling around on public transport.
All the places that you can go to, and then the one place where you live, you can't effing get people.
Yeah, because the road works, and then there's nobody ever there.
No.
There's always an empty one of them miniature diggers. Some bollards.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I drive up the M27 or the M27, which is quite near Portsmouth, and we went up to the New Forest a couple of weeks ago just for a day out, and they've got the average speed check thing, and it goes on for about 20 miles, and you'll be lucky if you see about 3 tractors in the middle of the road where they're doing fuck all. And you're the one that's having to really take almost double not double, but a lot longer to get there because everyone's on the 50-mile-an-hour limit and everything like that, and everyone's going extra slow. And all you ever see is like a line of bollards as well. It's like this. It's like they just put these bollards, and sometimes I think that what they're doing is there's a line of bollards. And then what's happening is there's a van that overtakes me with bollards, and so we can more bollards the other end. So it's like continually going around in a circle kind of thing with all these bloody bollards. Yeah, but there's never, every time it's like here when you're on a bus or something or in a taxi, you're in a traffic jam. You're going, well, why is there a traffic jam here? Roadworks. And then when after 10-15 minutes, you finally get a gormless bloke with a shovel in his hand, looking a bit thick, looking a bit bewildered or something.
Yeah, or there's nobody there.
Yeah.
But there's always one of them miniature diggers, you know, them little pocket-sized Tonka diggers, what they have.
Yeah.
They have them little Tonka diggers, don't they?
That's it.
Well, they look like Tonkas to me, you know. and I sat there. It's like, now I know where they all are. They're all outside my house. All of them. And the worst thing is when you get the sign that says, sorry for any delay. How can you do that? Do you know what he said to me? He said, you'll be getting a letter this morning about it.
Oh,
I thought,
well,
why didn't you send me a fucking letter last week?
Yeah, then you could actually make alternative arrangements. No, that's not on. That's really bad. So cannot any vehicles get along your road at all where you want to get this thing delivered to? Well, they're going to have to what? They're going to have to park at Bottom. Luckily, I live at Bottom Street. They're going to have to park at Bottom and carry it up, aren't they? Well, what they'll do is they'll probably call you. Often they call you to let you know that they're arriving. So whether they could, I don't know, mate. I mean, you'll have to let us, if you can. Well, yeah. Well, they're coming between 11:49 and 12:49. Do you know what? You might get a big blooper in there. What you should also do is when you speak to the people doing the roadworks, you should have recorded it. We could have featured it on the show. It would have been hilarious. Oh, I do that all the time. I haven't done it. I used to do it on the old podcast. I haven't done it so much recently. But if there is something funny, I will grab audio. It doesn't matter if it's a sci-fi podcast or whatever podcast. It's funny, and it's yeah. I mean, unfortunately, like I said, when I shout, I've got a similar problem with this real inconsiderate wanker, who he gets picked up by a guy who's got scaffolding in his van. and a couple of weeks ago, every day. Some days it was after, but a couple of times it was before 7, which you're not supposed to do. So by about the third time, I said, "Look, it's early, mate. You're waking up the whole neighbourhood." He looked at me, and I thought to myself, I thought first of all, I thought to myself, why am I the only person who's actually saying this? Nobody else seems to mind. Actually, I can hear the roadworks now on your end a little bit now. I can hear like a drill or something.
No, they're doing it on
I
purpose.
can hear it. I can hear it. It's
An
getting
arch
noisier.
enemy of mine have hired them.
It's getting
to wind me
noisier.
up.
But going back to my problem, I was going to say, and of course, he started when I shouted at him and said, "Look, can you stop doing that?" He actually looked so surprised. He thought, and it was like, don't you have any? Why is it that people never seem to have any sort of comprehension that they're being unreasonable?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is it like the
this
brains?
is annoying me outside right now.
Oh, mate. And they never seem to understand. They never think, well, hang on a minute. I'm driving
Did you get
here.
a letter this morning at 10
No,
o'clock?
and that's what annoys me, and it's always me that has to like complain and get things shaken up. It was a similar thing with a road I walked through. We walked to my mum's once a week, and for about 6 months, I don't know if I told you the story before, but I apologise if I repeat myself. But for 6 months, on the corner of this road where we walk, they've got these telephone poles. Because we're in London, they're on the poles. The wires go above the houses. The old-fashioned ones, not rather.
Yeah.
And somebody had decided to throw a trainer up there, and it got with I think it was 2 trainers, and it was like stuck on the wire, hanging down. Now, if I was in that road, I would have got fed up with this because it just looks horrible, and it's and
Well, that there is a significant meaning to that.
yeah, I've heard of that. But in the end,
I don't know why they do it here. I know they do it in America, but I've seen it around where I live. They throw trainers up round a telephone.
Why?
It's something to do with. Well, it's they've lost a fallen member of the gang or something.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
That's why they do it in America. In America, these gangs what are on the loose, killing each other over the street. Well, it's something to do with when one of them's fallen in battle. They throw trainers up on the telephone as a mark of respect.
So is that over here as well, or I don't know if it's.
I've seen it. I've noticed it when I've wandered around London. Sometimes I've been down the street and I've seen a pair of trainers hanging off the telephone line, and I used to wonder. And then I watched this thing on Channel 4 News about gangs in LA. And that's what I assume what it is here, because we have a gang.
Oh, so maybe that's what it was then. Anyway, I complained.
Do you have gangs in Portsmouth?
Well, yeah, bloody Portsmouth. Christ, the football fan gangs and stuff. No, actually, yeah. I actually think since I've been here, I think the whole bloody area has gone right down. And actually, we had to because our shed needs a bit of repair. And we would have to have paid 60 quid to get a couple of bits of wood delivered, or we could have gone to a timber yard, which is walkable, picked it up, and only got it for like 20, so say about 40 quid. So we walked along there this morning. I was being careful because obviously I'm supposed to be still self-shielding. And we saw 2 posts with signs on it saying, "This is a congregation area, please disperse." So, I think a lot of the youths are going stir crazy because they're not... a lot of them like the football fans, and that's a way of getting rid of all their pent-up emotions and stuff. But there's a lot of congregations of youths down here at the moment. It's definitely worse than normal.
I live in Notting Hill, and there was I didn't know about this, but apparently there was a massive street party yesterday, and the police turned up in force and shut it down. Really? I didn't know what was going on. I was watching telly last night.
Yeah,
so
you're oblivious.
1,000 teenagers all on loose.
Yeah.
All dancing. Yeah, well, I didn't know this was going on.
I think a lot of
I missed out on all this.
No. Well, that's it. You're probably watching Star Trek or something.
I was watching Deep Space Nine.
I watched Deep Space Nine last night as well, and a Voyager. Yeah. I watched the one. I watched the Voyager one with the other hologram, the one that hates humans, and he's like wiping up the blood and everything, and he tries. Remember that one? And then I did watch the DS9 one. But I the thing is, I was watching, and I think to myself, the 2 series of Star Trek I want to be in high def are Deep Space Nine and Voyager. They're the only 2. Can they just remaster the fucking things? Because they're so good. They're my favourite 2 shows, I think, or the Next Generation as well.
there's a problem. When they brought out the next gen,
He didn't make enough money. I know.
Didn't make it.
I know.
Did it?
I know.
Didn't get the money back what they spent on it.
Yeah, and they did a fantastic job. But I mean, first of all, now also, of course, Star Trek is getting bigger on CBS and everything. Plus, apparently, the transfer of the way of doing it is also coming down. It's getting easier to do. So I've got to do it at some point. I'll give anything for iDef, Voyager, and DS9.
Somebody's been doing Space Above and Beyond in 4K.
Yeah, you told me about that.
On YouTube, yeah. I don't know what it is. He's been doing it himself.
Yeah.
He upscaled the Deep Space Nine intro as well. Looks.
Can't they get a load of experienced fans and they'll pay them a lot less than they would from these big companies? They could do it for them. Why won't they?
Because people don't do sensible things anymore.
I know. That's why.
And since we got
dickheads
transferred
knocking
to
on
this
the door.
parallel dimension,
I know. What the dickhead dimension? Is that what we've slid into?
Yeah.
Are we sliders now?
When they turned that Hadron Collider thing on years ago, and them idiot scientists thought, yeah, all right, we'll go to full maximum power.
Yeah.
The transfer, we swapped.
Yes, and yes.
And they're living our good lives now.
Yeah.
And we're stuck in their shitty universe.
With people tooting their horns at 7 o'clock in the morning. And what? Yeah, go on.
We have a prime minister who was doing push-ups and said, I'm a butcher's dog and I'm ready to take the country in a new direction.
Yeah,
that
straight
is
down.
what I have to live with.
Straight down.
That is what I have to wake up with every morning.
I know, and that's why I wake up with arseholes tooting their horns and people walk in front of me when they're supposed to be still distancing for the moment.
The inmates have took over the asylum, my brother.
Almighty.
They've took over the asylum.
The lights are on, but nobody's home.
I'm calling in my calmness.
Oh.
I am ready.
God almighty. You need one of those Vulcan things, the ones that calm you down.
Yes.
The Tuvok who should be there to give you his what's the word? There's a term for where they actually try to lose emotion. There goes your phone. There you go. Do you want to check that? Might be there.
Oh no! It's
You're
just
right.
a pointless advert.
Oh, advert? What, on the phone?
Yeah.
How can you get adverts on the phone?
I get it from that Chinese website, wish.com.
Oh God. Okay. Oh yeah. I never got any sort of phone.
You should take a look at that wish.com. If you want a Rolex watch, you can have one sent to you. They only cost a tenner. It's incredible.
Oh, I'll tell you what I'm getting for my kitchen. You're going to think this is really a bit wacky, but I'm getting a refurbished American old payphone from the 80s. It's going to be in my kitchen, and it's actually it's painted up.
So good.
And
Will it make all them noises when he's put the money? You know them.
Yeah. I mean, but it works. So you can ring out, and it's got the American flag and everything. It's been painted white. I mean, you still recognise it as a payphone, but it's white, and it's got the American flags, and it looks gorgeous. But of course, I'm worried about obviously getting out of America with all the all things going over there. So I'll send you a picture of it when I've got it. And
yeah, definitely. That sounds really good. I was in negotiations with this guy on Facebook. He was selling me a 20-inch Iron Man bust with an arm on it.
Right.
And he wanted like far more than what it was worth, and it'd been on Facebook Marketplace for months. And anyway, I sent him an offer, and he said, "Oh, I'm not selling." Anyway, he contacted me last night about 10 o'clock and said, "Oh, I can still sell you it, you know." And I said, "No, I'm gonna leave it."
Yeah.
Because he should have bitten my hand off at the time. It's been on there for about 9 months. It's very nice. I mean,
yeah.
I thought as a centerpiece, it's going to look amazing. But then I thought I've got to go to travel other side of London to go meet him.
Oh yeah.
To pick it up, and I thought, do I really want to go? So I'm not going to bother.
Well, this thing I'm getting.
There's no point. I'm just going to go.
I was going to say this thing I got was expensive, but in the end I thought to myself, well, look, I'm not going to America this year. I was going to go. I've hardly spent any money this year, and I just need something new, which would be fun to have in the house. So I thought, sod it, let's get it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't normally have got it, but
I'm looking for something big at the moment as a centerpiece for the front room.
Yeah.
And I thought that bus would have been good, but it weighs a lot. It's in a big box, and I can't be bothered getting that on,
Oh,
especially
God.
what with this pandemic.
Oh, it's getting noisier.
No.
It's getting noisier. It sounds like a UFO flying over now. Oh, it's gone quiet again.
Yes, yeah, it's my other arch nemesis is planning this.
Oh, God.
Do you know what I mean? I'm going to go out there with the pump action shotgun and lose the plot.
Have you got any grenades?
Yeah.
Can you get a grenade from eBay or something and throw it out the window? Or something?
No, I've got a BB grenade. Yeah,
Uzi 9mm.
Yeah, I've got a vast selection of BB guns.
All right, mate.
You know.
Well, look, let's go on to the news. But I'm sorry about your
Let's
troubles.
get into some science fiction. Let's
No, it's
hang
fine.
on
No, it's good to share. It's
a
good to
slight
talk.
second of meditation.
That's it.
Right, let's go.
You sound like Crichton
I'm
when he's
ready.
trying. You sound like Crichton when he's trying to lie. Do you remember that? It's me. All
Right, let's
matey.
get on. Let's get
go
on.
for it. Let's hit the jingle. Here we go.
Working.
So the sci-fi.
News.
All right, so I'm just looking through the news at the moment, and there's not a lot on. There's going to be a James Bond, a violent extended cut of Casino Royale is going to be coming to HBO Max, which would be interesting. Jason Voorhees fights against COVID-19 in New York's safety ad. So apparently they're doing a safety ad featuring the Friday the 13th character. What else have I got? I haven't got a lot of news this end. You normally have a lot of superhero news and comic news. What have you got your end?
There's Lower Decks have released pictures.
Oh yeah. And what do you think about Lower Decks so far? I'm a bit underwhelmed.
I saw the artwork and just thought it looked terrible.
Yeah, it doesn't look particularly good, does it? It doesn't sort of stand out.
Cheap and nasty.
Yeah, I mean, I've still not seen Star Trek the animated series properly yet. I've seen 1 or 2 episodes, but like I said, I find it quite hard to get into animated series. I know like the Clone Wars and Star Wars is not like a cartoon; it's like a CGI thing, which is slightly different. So that's more accessible. But the only sci-fi animated series I really like and could watch again is Ulysses 31. Which is strange, but what other sci-fi animated series could you recommend that you've seen?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember.
I love that. And there is the final lost episode that did finish it.
Oh, okay. But
They they destroyed Venger at the end. It's online. It's on YouTube.
all right, cool.
It's the audio. So somebody got cancelled, but they did film a final episode, and all the audio's there. Venger is Dungeon Master's son.
Oh, okay.
He turned evil.
Ah, okay. Well, I can't. To be honest with you, it's been so long since I've seen it. I can't actually remember all the characters. I mean, I saw it back in the 80s. I think it was on. So, but I did like it. But like I said, that's a long time ago now. I've got some other news. Apparently, all of season 2 of The Twilight Zone, the new version, is streaming on CBS All Access. I'm not intending to see that series. I watched the first couple of episodes of that. Do you have any of those? Did you see The Twilight Zone, the new version?
I saw about 3, but I've heard it's been cancelled.
Oh, it's been cancelled. I didn't know that. Oh,
I think so. Yeah, somebody said something over the weekend.
Oh, I've not heard that.
But
yet.
it has been panned. They said it's crap.
It was shite. The
I
ones I
watched an episode, the one where they go to Mars in a spaceship, and it ends up being an alien psychological experiment. It was just crap.
Did you see Black Mirror?
Yeah, I did the McAllister.
Because that was a similar sort of sci-fi thing, wasn't it? I thought that
Black Mirror is genius.
I thought that's what this series is going to be. I've only seen a few, but oh my god, they're really good. I mean, it's quite adult. Quite a lot of.
Have you seen the Star Trek episode?
Yes. Oh my god, that was so good. That was excellent.
I
That
still
was
wanted
really
a
good.
sequel to that.
Oh, I mean, it was that guy. No, it was a woman, wasn't it? She ends up in the Star Trek virtual reality thing, and in the end, the guy. It was really good. Solid
Very
writing.
clever how when he took the DNA and put them in there. That was genius.
I tell you what I will
Very
do.
clever.
I'm going to watch all the Black Mirrors, and then we got a feature show on Black Mirror. That would be a really good story. But we need to see a lot of episodes. I haven't seen enough yet for us to properly bounce off each other. Have you seen them all, or how many have you seen in Black Mirror?
I've seen a friend of mine. He's really into it. He's seen I've seen about 10 episodes.
Yeah.
It's been going for a good few years, though. Black Mirror.
Is it still in production?
I think so. It's on Netflix now. I think Netflix got hold of it.
Okay. Well, I've got some episodes on my end. I'll check Netflix as well, but I think we should do that definitely. I think that'd be an awesome series to review. But like I said, that to me is everything that the new Twilight Zone isn't. God, they're getting loud now. God, what are they doing now?
I don't know. They're driving this big machine that's sucking up the road. It's like a vacuum cleaner, and then it all goes up this conveyor belt into this truck, and then I don't know what the guy's doing with the drilling.
I don't know. I always think to myself, why are they doing it? Just leave it alone. It was fine before. Why come along and mess everybody's lives up? I never understand that.
Because somebody's out to get me. That's why.
Oh, do you know what you reminded me of? You ever see the film Falling Down? You know, when there's those people doing the roadworks, and he fires Uzi he fires the machine, the gun at the rocket at the people doing the roadworks. And he says, "Why are you on the street? It was fine yesterday. Tell me again, why are you on the street?" And he's like, getting his gun out, and I thought to myself, that's Martin. That's it. You could be in the Falling Down, the sequel or something.
Well, this is it. I mean, decorators are at 7:30 in the morning. I mean, I don't know how are they going to get in.
Oh, I don't know.
They're going to have to park up somewhere.
Well, if you get any recordings, then please try, because it'd be really funny for the show. We could feature it next week or something. But I mean, like I said, when we record next week, do you think it'll be mostly done by then, or how long?
It'll all be done by then, yeah. But just them outside doing what they're doing.
Yeah, but you'll probably feel a bit more at ease because you'll know that at least then you've got all the stuff in, it's all done, and those arseholes, you can just close the window and just try and stay away as much as possible.
Well, I'm sorting bedroom out, so I'm gonna have to move in there for the next 48 hours.
Oh, mate. Oh, well, I will be thinking of you, because it's always stressful when you have stuff done in the house and stuff. I hate that myself. Yeah. So it'll be worth it in the end, and you'll be pleased, and that'd be cool.
Well, no, I will. So, but it's Monday. I hate Mondays.
We are
I'm not a Monday person,
and we've never done a recording on Monday. We're doing it, although we're releasing it on the same day of Thursday.
Yes.
We're doing it this week because obviously Martin's got some lots of things going on this week which are not the norm.
Yes.
I don't like Monday. I mean, Mondays to me, they're not as bad at the moment, because Monday really now is just like a Sunday or a Saturday. You know, with all this stuff. I mean, it's like you don't go to work and stuff. So it's not quite as bad as all that, but it's still Monday, and as you say, it's a long time until the weekend when you can, we're all sort of free. We've still got a school for the kids and stuff, and work for my wife.
And we've got a Prime Minister that can do press-ups.
I've got to look at this now.
Serious, you need to check it
out. All right, I'm doing it now.
He's on floor doing press-ups. He was all over the paper system.
Let's have a look.
Doing press-ups, yeah. I mean, they're all attacking him for it. I mean, an idiot Prime Minister doing press-ups.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember Putin when he used to ride the horse with no shirt on?
Yeah, maybe.
It's what he's trying to do, all that, in action, man.
Fit as a butcher's dog.
Just get on with sorting the fucking country out.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Don't want to see you trying to do press-ups with your big beer belly. God.
I don't know. I think that's sad. I mean, he's supposed to be someone. He just makes him look like a complete, almost like a caricature of himself.
Well, he's an umpa lumper, isn't he? That's what he is. He's like a bloody umpa lumper.
No, it's sad. PM says he's fit. Hang on, it's got some banners coming in front of me. I want to say here. Fit as a butcher's dog, and proves that as he's helping with nappies and night feeds, he announces a massive revival.
That's all right.
Yeah, I don't care about that. Just get on with. So keeping us protected and getting rid of this bloody virus, and
Oh yeah.
Fuck off.
Yes, okay.
All right, sorry. Sci-Fi. This is not a Boris Johnson podcast. Right.
Okay. Let's go.
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 I've got no more news. Have you got anything else to share with the world?
There's no fucking.
No, it's jack shit, isn't there?
Yes.
All right,
I'm right. Just a second. I'm scrolling through Facebook now. Nothing. Yeah, this afternoon when this is done, there'll be loads.
Yeah, it'll be loads. Yeah, but it's Monday. It filters through it after the weekend when things are a bit more dormant. I'm going to look at one more place. I'm looking.
Nothing.
No.
Right,
I'll go into Cult Box. Let's have a quick look in there. It's the nicest things in there. And then we'll move on to the focus of the week. I think it's a bit of a short news this week. Although, as it's short, we could play some recent bloopers if you want. I did some a few weeks ago. We could have given those a play if you want to hear some more strange stuff going on. Yeah, let's do that in a minute. Before we do that, let's see if there's any other news. I saw the thing with Jodie Whittaker, Matt Smith and David Tennant.
Well, we saw a new Dalek, didn't we?
Oh, and I posted it, but yeah, now that was that's been pretty much panned by everybody. It looks terrible.
I mean, it's why. I forgave it when they brought the multicoloured ones out, the red and the blue and the yellow.
Oh, everyone hated those ones.
Do you remember them?
Power Rangers Daleks, weren't they?
Power Ranger Daleks.
Yeah.
They were like, I know they got rid of them.
They were only around for about one season, and then you saw them a couple more. Then they featured a little bit, and they were repainted like more metallic, and they looked a bit better. And then they disappeared, and then they were gone. And it was a bad idea. That was definitely
Disco Daleks.
Disco Daleks. But I mean, to be honest with you, I think they look better than this new sort of grey-black thing that they've just released. Because it looks like actually we mentioned this because we last week we played the Doctor in the TARDIS song. It does look like it's from made by a fan. It looks like a fan creation. It doesn't look like it's, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't make any sense because that one we saw in their last appearance, where it was put together from bits and pieces, I could actually appreciate that because it wasn't actually a Scaro created Dalek. It was just something made from bits and pieces in an old junk heap or whatever it was. Well, that thing looks ridiculous. Don't know.
It does.
Looks bad. Never mind.
It's rumoured for 60th Doctor Who they're bringing Tennant Smith and Jodie Whittaker. They're on about saving up for them up for some special.
Where are we now? That's 3 years' time. How do you feel about that?
I'll still be watching it and moaning.
I know you will. Mind you, Whittaker should be gone by then.
I hope so.
I mean, I'm sorry, but I would like to have it. I mean, I reckon it will be a ethnic minority male Doctor next time. That's what I personally think it will be. And that's obviously, that's what they do. What do you think we'll get in the next Doctor? Do you think it will be a politically correct minority Doctor, another female Doctor?
They're going to do something.
They're going to do. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like I said,
I don't know what they're going to do. I heard it was that Chris Marshall. Apparently, they're showing a lot of interest in it. I think it's going to be Chris Marshall, the actor.
I don't know Chris Marshall. What's he in?
He was in that sitcom, My Family.
Oh.
He was the son with Wolfie Smith. He played the father.
I never saw that. No.
It was on BBC. And he did some murder. He's a detective in the Bahamas or something. So he's got some series. Well, they're on about him. He's quite funny, so he could pull it off. He's quite tall, so I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I've given up with a lot of it now. It's just I tried to defend it, and I just can't anymore. We got shit Daleks, we get shit stories. Sorry for my language. It's just even Star Trek Discovery. I mean, that's like watching Star Trek on LSD.
Yeah,
I don't even know if it is Star Trek.
I've never thought it was quite Star Trek myself. I mean, I'm more open to it. But it's funny because you were a lot more positive about it. You seem now, in hindsight, to be more critical.
Because I go for the third season. I have this stratagem that the third season will make or break a series.
Yeah.
And the first year is about character development. And then you get somewhere the cliffhanger. Second year, it's about them coming together. Third year, it's the
where you stand with them, because I agree.
And then you've got an overall arc of where you're going.
I think that's fair. I think in the end that
that's why, because one of my subscribers, he speaks to me on Facebook, and he asked me why, because he hates it. And he absolutely detests it, and he can't understand why I'm defending it. And I had to tell him, I said, look, I said I've got to be open to it because it's the third season. It could change the mechanics of it. It was like Babylon 5. When you got to the third season in that, it was just another ball game.
Yeah, I mean, and I think really the fairest way to judge a series is to see the whole thing. I mean, I'm still watching Revolution, and I'm plodding through the second season. I've nearly done it all, and the second season has been better, but I just didn't quite click with it. I could see why some people would have liked it, but it to me it just didn't quite click. It had a lot of well-known actors in it from lots of series that we both watch. But for some reason, I've never quite clicked with it. And every episode, you get a scene where one of the characters looks like he's going to get killed or knifed or something, and just at that last scene, so then somebody sort of like jumps the bad guy, or the bad guy gets shot, and it's just not for me for some reason. I'm not clicked with it. So
I ordered one on DVD off Amazon this morning. It should be tomorrow from 95.
All right.
I've never got hold of it on Earth 2. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, Earth 2. I've heard of it. That's not the one with...
Yeah, it got cancelled after one season. It's they're all living on space stations, and this mission goes to this other planet.
Right.
And there's like all kinds of conspiracy and all this going on, and they've got to survive on this called Pacifica or something.
Right.
And because Earth can't live there, but there's these evil people that run the Earth that takes them 22 years to get there, and there's these like aliens that live there, and they're like at one with nature, and it's really good. It's very powerful on character development. It's called Earth 2, but it got cancelled after one season. There's a load of big stars in it. Clancy Brown in it.
Oh yeah, are you going to do it? It should have been a classic for your YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's what I'm looking for, but we can review it as well. So.
Yeah, well, what I'll do is...
It's worth a check, download it, it's worth a look.
Okay, is it on YouTube? Well, I suppose it's not. Is it something?
It was on YouTube.
It's been taken off.
Well, I went looking for it at the weekend.
Oh, it's been taken down.
And I thought that I'm going to get on this, because it's something I really want to do. I never really got to see all of it, and it's them episodes... It's on YouTube, but they speeded it up, and it's in like a square box.
Oh, yeah. You can. Don't forget.
So I can't watch it
yeah, you can, because if you this is a clever thing. Some people do. If it's sped up, you can change the playback on your YouTube to 0.5%, and so you can counteract the speeding, and you can watch it in real time.
Oh God, you're clever. You
see, you can do that. That's what they do. No.
Genius.
No, mate. Of course you can.
When did you find this out?
Well, no, because I realised recently that you can watch YouTubes at like 2.5. So they talk like... They're talking not slowed down. Their voices are condensed. The whole thing is condensed. So you can do it the opposite way.
But it's still in that square, isn't it?
It's in the square. But if you've got a big screen or something, it's watchable.
Yeah,
it's a compromise. It's a compromise. So that's what you can do. So if they've played it at like speed 2.5 or speed 2, you can play yours at half speed. See, I'm not. You know me. When it comes to my films and stuff,
right? All right.
I know what I'm doing. I'll get away with watching stuff and seeing stuff, and that's what I'll do. So do it that way.
Well, it's on YouTube
then you should be able to watch it.
Yeah, but it's I just can't watch it in that square mode.
Yeah, well, you could zoom. Well, I suppose you could zoom it in or something. I don't know. You could put it on full screen.
Yeah, I could zoom it in on my Xbox, but it's not. When people put up like TV series and that, it's like the images are either too big or they've speeded it up. That's to get away with copyright.
I know, exactly. Let's have a look.
So I bought it this morning. I thought, well, it's on Amazon. It'll be here tomorrow. So I'm going to start on that,
Yeah, I've got Earth 2, 1994, Season 1, Episode 1. I'm just going to play it and see what it looks like from my perspective. We won't put the volume on here. I'm just watching it very quick to see what it looks like, see if it's that bad.
It's not that...
Oh, you're right. They've got like... they've got like the sea. They've got like a sort of sea thing at the side, and it's about only using about 60% of the screen. Clancy Brown. Okay, I'm just watching the opening credits.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of them. Quite a lot of big stars in it, actually. I was surprised.
There's. Have you ever heard of Daily Motion? Daily Motion's on Google, and you can often get stuff off there which isn't on YouTube. Just look at that. You might be able to find it online. Yeah, look at this. Daily Motion. Daily Motion's one word, and just type in Earth 2.
Yeah, I know Daily Motion.
Oh, do you know? So it might be on there. You never know. It might be on there.
Yeah, I'd rather watch it on DVD. It's just I don't want to go through all this. I just want to bloody well.
No, I know. Yeah, I completely understand. I understand.
But I'd download the pilot episodes, 2-hour movie, and give it a go.
Yeah, well, I'll give it a go as well if you recommend it. I mean,
it might, because it has a lot of potential in it. It's quite serious, and it's very good. And Tim Curry's in it as well.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, one thing.
Yeah, I mean, the bang the stars in it.
Oh, yeah, but that doesn't always work with things like Revolution. One thing I did see the first time this week was Videodrome. I've never seen that before.
And you ever with Deborah Harry?
Yeah, I wasn't that. I was because I saw that. And I saw Existence about a week before that, a couple of weeks before that.
Yeah.
I
prefer. You want to be careful what you say right now.
Why?
You want to be shot down if certain people hear what you've just said.
What? Not like
Videodrome. Well, to be honest, I think Videodrome's a big bag of shite.
I thought it was confusing as hell.
Well, it's a cult classic. Is Videodrome? It's up there with Existence. Yes.
Yeah, but I thought Existence was better than that. I thought that made more sense.
Yeah.
I thought Videodrome was confusing. In the end, I wasn't quite sure whether it was all real or whether he was actually tripping or something. I didn't quite know what was going on about it in the end. I mean,
well,
so what? Go on.
No, go on.
No, I was going to say that's what I thought. So, what do you think?
I thought I agree, and I think that's the beauty of the film, and you don't know, and it works like that for Existence. But Videodrome is just, it was just absolute crap. And I'm going to get shot down for that. Everybody it's been rated one of the best.
I thought that's why I checked it out. And I thought it was actually really overrated. I thought it was quite a shite film. It wasn't very good. It
was the cheap, nasty film made for video.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. I was surprised to see Deborah Harry though, so that was quite interesting.
Yeah,
but yeah.
But that other film you saw, the Hardware, that's it. My mate listens to it. My mate, he listens to the podcast. He defended the film.
Oh, did he? Okay.
He went to cinema to see it. He said it's awesome.
I thought it was shit. I thought that was terrible.
He said, how could you slag that off? And I'm not going to say his name, but he knows who he is. And
thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.
How could you slag off that? He said it's brilliant. I said it's absolute. He said you've got to support cheap films after fucking that.
I don't mind some cheap films. Another film Hardware was. Another film I saw was Puppet Masters with Donald Sutherland.
Oh God, you're going back.
I like that. I thought that was quite good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
that was good. I mean, so it's funny how we seem to be quite on the same wavelength with a lot of these films, which is quite interesting. Yeah, but Puppet Master's great. That's definitely one I'm going to keep in my collection. Videodrome. No, I don't know. I might keep it watch it again in a couple of years' time or something. I don't know. I was a bit underwhelmed by that. So, but yeah, Hardware was just shy. I mean, that's just.
Well, it's just Deborah Harry. That's the only reason it sells.
Yeah, well, there was nothing wrong with Deborah Harry, but yeah, she was the only one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think really the whole point was you didn't quite know, and I was expecting some answer as to what was going on, and that annoyed me. So at the end of the film, when he appears to shoot himself, or whatever he does at the end with his and then he's sort of like, she says something like, to go to the next level, you got to kill yourself. And then it went black at the end. Yeah. And then so what's the whole point is that you don't know whether it was just an hallucination or whether he was in reality and he killed himself. I mean, that sort of thing is I think that's the whole point. You're talking like we're talking now about what the actual funky film was actually about. But I mean, I don't know. I like something with more of an answer.
If you want a classic from the 80s video terror, try The Stuff.
I love The Stuff. I've seen The Stuff.
Stuff.
Oh, The Stuff's a brilliant film.
Superb film.
I love that film. And it had that actress that was in Invasion of the Body Snatchers. She makes a really weird cameo at the end. She says something like, what was her name? Brunette. Quite a nice looking. I can't remember her name.
Yes. I know. I've got a picture of her, but I don't know her name.
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
But Stuff. And
I love The Stuff.
And there's one called Remote Control if you can get hold of it.
Remote Control. I've seen.
You might have seen, you'll have seen it over years, back in the days of VHS. It's terrible, but there's something likeable about.
I've seen Stay Tuned. There's one where these two guys get sucked into TV.
Oh, that's fantastic! That John Ritter.
Yeah, Stay Tuned.
Yeah, well,
I'm not seeing Remote Control though. God, they've talked about a lot of films today, aren't we? Yeah. I know. I mean, I've not seen Remote Control though. But you recommend that, do you?
Yeah, from what I remember of it, yeah.
Was it sort of 80s thing, was it?
Yeah, very early 90s.
Oh, early 90s, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's something to do with satellite TV taking over people's minds or something.
Oh, I like that sort of stuff.
It's really ridiculous, but it's something enjoyable about the film.
Yeah, I like that sort of stuff. I liked, I recently saw Cell as well, with these mobile phones, and then one just goes crazy. I thought that was quite good as well. So it's have you seen that? Seen Cell?
No, I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, I'll have to let you see that at some point. That's quite a good film as well. Cell's pretty good. I thought it was good. Anyway, that's that. We're talking more about films general rather than news now. Any other news before we go on to our focus of the week?
Nothing. I've been looking while I've been talking, and nothing.
Okay, well, we managed to stretch out the news a bit, which is cool. So let's go into our focus of the week. Here we go.
It's the
Solar Sci-Fi
focus of the week.
Okay, this is a great film from 1996. It's the same year as Mars Attacks, which we obviously talked about recently. I think that's how this came about. And also, the reason we're talking about this is because of a certain very famous holiday in America, which is happening very soon from this date this is released. And of course that is Independence Day, with Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, Brent Spiner, all sorts of other people, and I loved it. Let me say because I often ask you first what you think of it. Let me say what I thought about it when I first saw it in the cinema. I went with some friends from work, and my boss was there, and she's great. We're still really good mates and everything. And I actually thought it was really good because it was such a big, epic film. It very, very much mirrored the beginning of V, which was made about 12 years before that, 83, 84, which had a similar thing with these great big UFOs coming over, and how slowly they're sort of becoming stationary over all the major cities of the world. And then, of course, then you get all that happens there. I thought the film was really a big thing. I thought that it has some great comedy. It has some fantastic special effects. It had some cheesy bits as well, but I don't mind a bit of cheese in these films. But I remember my boss, at the end, when all the ships are sort of crashed on the Earth, and she was saying, aren't the special effects really bad in those scenes? And I thought, well, I thought they were okay. But I just thought, for me, it was a great popcorn flick, sci-fi, blowing up things trashing about. I loved it. So what do you think about it? Tell me about your perspective of seeing Independence Day.
I think Independence Day is one of the best alien invasion movies ever made.
Yeah.
And I do, for its ultimate
one of the most epic films, though.
The scale of it is massive. And there's some, do you know, every time I watch it, I never get bored of it.
No. I'm thinking about watching it this afternoon.
All the time. We shall not vanish into the night.
I know. You had some
Mr. President, are you getting in the plane? Yeah. You know, but I mean, the goddamn American president jumping in the F-15. I mean, come on. You know, you can't. I like
the loser dad guy who's supposed to crop fields, and he spreads the anti-pesticide, what it's called, onto the wrong farmyard, and at the end he gets this F fighter plane. I can't remember what they're called.
And his missile don't
and
work.
he goes down, and he goes, "Hello, boys, I'm back." And he thinks that he's been probed by aliens, and they also he's in this sort of backward village, and they all think he's had sort of like alien stuff shoved up his arse and stuff, and they take the mick out of it. I love it. It's so funny.
With Independence Day, you don't go in with a serious mind. It's a straightforward thing. They turn up, they're after resources. There's no politics. They go from world to world, consume everything.
Yeah, and then they leave.
and then they move on. They don't care. That's how it works. There's no emotion. There's no like trying to convert them.
No.
They are focused on what they're going to do, where they're relevant to them.
Yeah, exactly.
And in the first hour of the film, we get totally annihilated. Set is destruction on a level you can barely begin to imagine. And then it's the fight back for survival. And there is that moment in the film where you think, you know, it's... How are we going to stand up against 15-mile-sized UFOs and a mothership nearly size at moon?
That's right. Yeah.
And it all works out, but then there's a back door. There's some hope. The scientist. It's always the good old scientist.
That's a very staple. That's a staple of
virus,
science fiction.
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Because we're so primitive that a primitive computer virus can go up there and screw them up. A primitive backdoor, and they upload it through Windows. Is what it 97?
Yeah, 97, yeah, or 95 or something.
97 upload it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's fantastic. And you've got all these hard-ass characters and all this. Brent Spiner is that insane
Dr.
scientist.
Orkin or something. Dr. Oker or something.
Yeah, and he's that excited about it. I love the old Area 51. And but the fight back is fantastic.
I loved it. I loved it.
Go back. But there is a few scientific problems with
they normally are. But go on. What the problems?
16-man UFO dropped out of the sky onto the surface. Wouldn't that cause a lot of shit? Really?
Yeah, I would have thought so. Yeah. I mean,
it might have floated down. They did have gravitational generators, so.
Yeah, I mean, in the sequel, they had one of the original ships still on Earth, but it had landing feet on it. It was actually on the ground. But yeah, I mean, in the end, it's a film where you can't. I think in science fiction, sometimes, not all times, but a lot of times.
I think it's one of the best science fiction films ever made. The Independence Day is what it is.
Yeah.
There's no point people like analysing it and it's this and that. Everybody enjoys it, even if you're not into science fiction.
Oh.
It's a romp.
It is a romp.
It's good fun.
It is,
and
good
it's
fun.
an awesome movie. I even like the sequel. And
I
where
like the
it would
sequel.
go fascinating me.
I like the sequel as well, actually. I mean, I like the fact that the sequel was like an alternative Earth, where 20 years on, of course, they've used all the technology from the ships, and
Which
so
would make sense.
which of course it would make sense.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a bright. I mean, I actually might do this afternoon. I might have a big Independence afternoon and watch both films. I might do it.
Watch both together.
Yeah, I'll have a proper
Okay.
Independence, real proper veg out, and chill out with watching that. And I think I might do that. You've put the idea in my head now.
I think why the sequel flops, it wasn't
Why did
because
that?
it
Why was that? Why did it flop?
because there was nothing they could do with it.
You mean it all be explored the first time round? You mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, after they'd wiped out the White House and London and every capital landmark in the world, I mean, these things wiped out entire cities, New York off the map and rest of it. It's where do you go with that on that level? I mean, they'd done it, hadn't they, in first film?
Yeah.
And they did do. You remember when they had that gravitational thing in the second one?
Yeah.
Where it was sucking cities up because it had its own gravitational field around it.
Yeah.
Which I think it's like sometimes you get these mega movies. I mean, I remember I went to see one. I was bored stiff, and it was all destruction on such a level that you just, oh god, this is getting boring. You know, with all that over smudged CGI.
Yes. Yeah. Like,
And I think
2012 or something.
Where could you go with it? I mean, after destroying half the world in first movie, we'd seen it. You know, so what could they do? All they could do was repeat it.
But if they'd have made a third one, they were going to go out there and look for them. They were actually going to go out into space, weren't they? And actually try to find them.
Yeah, well, I think the second film is. I like the second film.
Yeah,
I like the idea of a queen and all that. I thought, and I like the other alien that turned up as well.
Yes, yeah, I was going to ask about that.
And I thought that's where they should have focused on.
Yeah,
I think they should have gone more with that. And all right, we see some destruction, but we did defeat them. But it left from the first one to the second one. I liked it with the president and certain people were dreaming of that other alien.
Yes.
I loved all that.
They had some
it
sort
was
of
great.
they still had some contact from the first time round. They they were hypersensitized to them, and that's why they were having these visions and dreams and all sorts of things. So that was clever. I mean,
And
also
there were prison camps for the aliens as well.
yes,
They had
yes,
prisons, which
that was
fascinated me.
really interesting, actually. And also, some sequels can actually reduce the quality or the when you watch it again of the original, but the sequel didn't. If anything, it reinforces the first film.
Because what could they put in it? I mean, after the first one, Independence Day was like the first film that brought out CGI destruction.
Yes, it
on
was.
that level. Everything has been a copy of it since.
Yeah.
You know, but Independence Day stands out. And I think the sequel is so underrated that I'm a big fan of it. The sequel is very good. You know, but we'd seen it all in the first one. It would have been better might have been better to have set it 100 years later.
Maybe.
Might have been to jump more into a future. I mean, 20 years they did build quite a lot, didn't they? 20
oh
years,
yeah, they did
they?
actually. I mean, all the major landmarks were there, and then they all got destroyed again in the second time round.
Yeah.
But I still think though it was a very solid film. It was done by Roland Emmerich did it, who of course directed and co-wrote it, and of course he did Stargate, so he was obviously a person who's done a lot of science fiction. I think he did the Godzilla as well, Roland Emmerich.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that, do we?
I don't know. You don't like I didn't mind that version of Godzilla.
Oh,
actually.
God, not another one.
Oh, you like that? Oh,
I hate that bloody...
I like that one. They made. Oh, okay. We'll have to do a Godzilla.
What, a giant iguana running around?
Yeah. Well, why not? It's
It
science
wasn't
fiction.
exactly Godzilla, was it?
But do you like the original Stargate film compared to SG-1?
I'd like to review the original Stargate because there was a planned trilogy for that.
I
Where it
know.
was
I mean,
I'd like to talk about that.
We were okay. Well, I already done one on SG-1, but we could just do one on the
on
original
movie.
film and not sort of dwell too much on the sequels TV. Yeah, I'm up for that at some point soon as well. That's what I love about this. We've got so many films and TV shows to review. It's a good show.
Yeah.
It's good fun. It's good. I love doing
definitely.
it. Great.
But it's, the thing is with Independence Day 2, I think a TV series now, Independence Day, the TV series, where we go out into space.
Yeah.
Because there was a planet where all these other alien races were building a defense against them.
Oh.
And they were looking for leaders because nobody had defeated them.
So they could do a sequel, but not make it a film. Make it like a season, or do one season and then see how it goes, and then continue.
Yeah,
that'd be a good idea.
Alien turned up. They said there was a secret planet hidden away of survivors of the other races, but the aliens said we've got nobody to lead us because nobody's defeated them.
Yeah,
and we were the only race ever defeated.
I'd actually stop them. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, well, you never know. I mean, it's very doubtful, but somebody could be listening to this right now and thinking, "Oh, that's a good idea."
I just think there's something there. I really do, because I got excited when Brent Spiner's character said, "We can now reach the stars. We can go beyond our solar system."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly.
And
they've got to do that. I reckon they could still make a sequel. They might just, wait a few years, and then the interest in it might sort of generate again. I mean, it's too strong a sort of like original film for it just to be forgotten. They could do it. They could do it.
Well, they killed a lot of the original cast off, didn't they?
Who did they kill? They killed off.
Yeah, they killed off. It was the. In the first one, she was a lap dancer.
Yeah.
She was mother of
the mother
Will
of the. Yeah, that's right. She got killed off.
Captain Hillier or something. He got killed off. He had some accident, and then his son watched his mother die. Went to hospital, got vaporised. Then President got it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the original cast they all got wiped out, didn't they?
Which means that they could do a sequel and just make it like only have one or two. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see. I mean, because Jeff Hirsch was in it, the actor. He was still in it, the dad of Jeff Goldblum's character.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see a sequel of some point. Because,
I think a third. I think you could have got another 2 movies out.
Yeah, I reckon so. It's just unfortunate it didn't do well in the box office. Which
third one would be where they're building alliances with this other alien races, to step up to form an alliance to stop the that lot. Because I mean, there seems to be like a hive mentality, and what did they call the ships? Harvesters.
Yeah.
So there's others out there, isn't there, as well?
Yeah, they might have battleships or all sorts of different vehicles.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. They've got warships. Yeah, these are like farming ships. You could have like proper warships. So
Yeah.
like Death Stars or something. Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
It takes it all up to the next level.
yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You should be the ones writing. I mean, you're very good at sort of doing creative ideas and stuff, which is why it's good to talk to you about these ideas. So, and I'm going to use your creative ideas in our next topic in a second. So,
Oh, okay.
but yeah. Any other things you'd like to say before we wrap up on this film?
I know I defend the film. It's Independence Day is what it is.
Yeah.
And don't say it's anything more or as anything less. It's
Good
an
film.
enjoyable romp.
Crank your sound up, get the explosions going, watch it in high def if you can, and just lose
Yes.
yourself, and that's it. And that's what a film should be about. You lose yourself. And these people are like, oh, it's not very good, and I didn't know. Oh, fuck off! Just don't watch it then. Go and watch Emmerdale Farm or something. Just piss off.
Yeah. I think Independence Day, somewhere when you watch Independence Day, they don't make films like that anymore.
No.
Independence Day is a straight line film, and you get into it. You can tear it apart, you can debate it, but at the end of the day, you're going to say, well, it was bloody enjoyable.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And we need to get back to making films like that again.
Yeah. Just lose yourself.
Too woke today.
Yeah.
Too
No,
deep.
I know exactly.
That's
why.
and all that.
That's why I'm going into all these old films. That's why I'm looking at Videodrome. Yeah, it's a bit cack, but I'm looking more and more on older films because I'm getting more than you get in 2020 production films. Although I still recommend Invisible Man, the new one. That's quite good. That's made this year. Right, thank you, Marty, for that. Let's go into our cancelled. Nay, it's here to stay topic. I always forget the actual title of that, and I've created it. Here's a jingle. Here we go. Cancelled? Nay.
I can hear lots of static.
It's here to stay. All right, so this week we've also just been talking about Stargate, and of course Stargate went a long way, and of course this focus is going to be on a Stargate series. It's the one that did get cancelled, and that was certainly a nay for me, and that was of course the third Stargate series, which was of course Stargate Universe. So obviously if you've seen the series, you'll know that it ended with Eli on the ship with the rest of the crew in stasis. They had to be in stasis for a number of years. I can't remember how many years it was without checking. Do you remember how many years they were supposed to be in stasis for? 2 years, wasn't it? Marty's turned into a tractor. Marty's gone. Marty's gone.
I mean, no, cut out then. Cut out.
He sounded like you beaming up to the Starship Enterprise.
I know, cut out. Right, can you repeat that again? Sorry. Cut out.
No, that's fine.
Fucking builders!
I know. I hope they heard that. So, what did you hear me say? Where did it cut out up to?
You were on about Stargate Universe and that Eli was the one that was...
Yeah, right. So basically, at the end of the episode, all the rest of the crew go into stasis, which I think was for 2 years. And that was the end. Eli was alone, and he had to make sure that the ship was running or something. And then the rest would be woke up in 2 years' time. And that's where it ended. And that's it. We don't know what happened. So, what do you think? How do you think the show would have gone if it had been picked up for season 3?
Well, they crashed into a sun, got vaporised, and it finished.
That's it. So it was like a 10-minute sort of like a... Oh, they could have done. They could have made it. I mean, did you not like Universe very much? How did you find Universe?
I was in and out with Universe. I did watch it. I did like the second season. I preferred it to the first.
Okay, so I mean, we'll do a focus probably on the show at some point. So
I liked where they found where time versions of them had created another Earth.
Yes, that's right.
I like that, and that was interesting.
Yeah,
so it had potential.
So, I mean, at the end of the season, like I said, it was just Eli. They couldn't get back to Earth. They were in between galaxies, and they were going to have to go 2 years because they run out. There was no way for them to refuel, so they were just going to have to coast along for 2 years. They didn't have enough food or resources, so that's why Eli was left alone, where all the rest. So it was. They made season 3. Do you think it would have simply started off with them reaching the other end, or I mean, it could have been that some of the people died. There was some accident where maybe quite a few of them were wiped out, so there's really not many of them left. I mean, what do you think that would have been the pull for season 3 for people coming in after the first 2 years?
I'd connect it to SG1, go to this planet.
Right.
It's an ancient world, and there's an historical. It's the planet where Destiny was launched from.
Oh, okay. The actual the ancients, because obviously the ancients are the ones that created
the
it.
find and the information is in the Atlantis computers at Stargate Atlantis, because they've gone back to Pegasus Galaxy now.
Yeah.
Let's say they made that movie they were going to make. They're back in Pegasus, but they work out that if they can find a planet with the right elements, they can open a 10th chevron straight to Destiny, but they can only bring them back to the Pegasus Galaxy. That's how I'd have finished it. What I'd have gone with.
I mean, because there were some crossovers with. I mean,
yes,
Roddy McKay, he appeared in season 2 with the Robert Picardo character Woolsey. I think it was those two. I mean, one thing which I liked about the other Stargate series was that there was a lot of crossovers, and of course, O'Neill appeared in the fewer times in the Atlantis. But of course, and like I said, we're not talking too much about the series because it's not the focus of the week. But it didn't have that comedy factor.
Well,
so,
I'd have got through where they get through whatever they were going through for 2 years. Eli hasn't gone mad because he's been using the stones to talk to people back at the SGC.
Right.
He goes back because they had them stones where.
So he could still stay in touch, couldn't he? That's true.
Yeah. So he's not on his own. He is talking to people. So then there's people like they get an engineer who will sort the ship systems out. Well, he's back on Earth. Then they transfer him back.
That's a good idea.
Yes, they get through the 2 years. They come out of the other side. The rest of the team wake up. And do you remember that miserable Dr. Rush?
Yeah, Nicholas Rush. Yeah.
Yeah, he was looking. The ancients were looking for something about the conscious. There was something in the universe, which
that's right. There's some answer. The whole point. Yeah, the answer to life, the universe, and everything. There was a question.
But the ancients discovered that through ascension, didn't they?
Yeah, but he was trying to discover it as well, wasn't he?
But you need to ascend. There's no point getting in a spaceship. You ascend. It's not about that.
No, that's true.
So but they did come out with that. They were looking for something in the fabric of reality. It was something. But yeah, again, if you've ascended, wouldn't you know all this?
Yeah.
Or unless it's beyond that.
No, that's a good
where
point.
I've got a problem with it. It's where it cuts itself out. But I'd have the next 2 seasons where a new alien race turns up at the other side.
Right.
And it's destroyed the other ships that have been in front of Destiny because they're terrified of something from the ancients. They find an ancient outpost as well. They start coming in because the other ships have set stuff up. And they find an ancient as well in suspended animation.
Oh, okay. And maybe they can modify the ship or something.
Where he could be evil. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Or yeah. I mean, I like the idea of what you said about people actually maybe during the 2 years. Eli is swapping with the best engineers and scientists, and they're coming aboard. And so when the others actually resuscitate, the ship is in very, very good condition. There's been lots of upgrades. Of course, they can't transfer stuff, but they've got some computers. They've got some stuff that they transferred from the very first episode. They could use some of that. Yeah, that'd be quite cool.
It's an ancient ship. It's capable. If it's got the power and the know-how, it can regenerate itself in certain areas.
Yeah. So they could do that.
So you get people on board that swap bodies and start doing shit to keep him sane as well.
Yeah.
I'd say every 6 months you wake up one of the crew as well.
Yeah, because short term he could do that, couldn't he?
Yeah, like Dr. Rush or the leader guy.
Yeah, they could have lunch together or something.
And the doctor to check on his mental state and stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, I would have thought that him with the rings, not the rings, the stones going back to Earth would help him keep in touch. But it was him, wasn't it? It just was him at the end. I mean, was his mum? Was his mum dead by that point? Because she was ill, wasn't she? I
think she was still alive.
She was yeah.
I'd also have it that if the ship orbits the planet for so many days as it did, that he wakes 2 members that crew up and they go and investigate. They wake up at certain, like if there's a planet and the ship goes into orbit.
Yeah.
Also, I'd go into
Although it wouldn't do, would
exploring the ship. There's areas of the ship that have never been discovered. That's where
true.
they could find this ancient there.
They could find some more, a bit like Atlantis was discovering stuff.
Yeah,
although of course,
planet, yeah.
I mean they wouldn't have anywhere to explore though, because obviously it's in between galaxies. They wouldn't have any other planets to go to, but they could explore the ship. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, okay, that sounds interesting. And I like the idea maybe that because they're slowly getting closer back to the Pegasus galaxy. Where are the ancients from? Which galaxy was it? The Pegasus galaxy.
Didn't they come from another galaxy?
No, it was a different one, wasn't it? Because that was
didn't they? Yeah.
No. But what about if they, as you say, they're slowly getting back towards our galaxy, that they start to see aspects of the ancients?
Where they are, they've worked out, this could go over 2 seasons, that the SGC have found this planet in the planet that where the ship were launched, that they've worked out on an ancient computer through Atlantis, where you bring it all together, that when the ship reaches a certain point in the galaxy, there's like they can open up a wormhole by the 10th chevron or whatever, briefly for about an hour, and then they can bring them all back.
Right.
But it's got to be at a certain point in the galaxy because of this planet's axis, how it rotates.
Yeah.
Either in Pegasus or Milky Way. It's only a once-in opportunity to do it, and you could build to that. But obviously, there's a lot of working out and math and all that.
Yeah, it's not very straightforward, yeah.
Because it took a whole planet to power the 10th chevron,
It did,
didn't it?
And then the planet blew up, didn't it? I think.
And the planet had certain elements in it, so these planets are very rare, but they do exist.
I mean, we've already seen 2 of them because the Elysian Alliance, whatever they're called,
on board out there, yeah.
But they discovered, yeah, because they came aboard from a similar planet, didn't they? They had the same one which could dial the night chevron, which is why they took over.
And got destroyed, didn't it? Blew up, didn't it, as well?
Yeah, it got blown as well. So they got. The thing is, though, I don't know. But look, there's some great ideas. I think that's really good, and I think that I was. Like I said, it was very different from the other series, but I was very sad when it got cancelled after season 2. I could see why it was cancelled, because it just didn't have the humour and that spark.
They could find by going towards end of season when they're leaving, when they enter the new galaxy or whatever. It's going to take 2 years to get there. They find an Ori Stargate. An ancient. It's very odd. This was going back millions of years. There's an actual. They come into orbit of an Ori Stargate. It's inactive, and there could be an alien race trying to operate it to invade, and they get involved in all that. Right. But in the final episode, they go through and they get back to either Pegasus or Milky Way. The destiny goes through. They return it home.
Yeah, or like a Supergate kind of thing. Yeah.
But that won't be till like the final 3 or 4.
Yeah.
It's hinted at through certain planets have been about this Supergate that exists.
Yeah. That sounds cool. Well, we'll never know, but it's certainly nice to have some hypothetical ideas about if they made a season 3. And thank you for running those great ideas. Really, some really good stuff to think about. And that's what this topic is all about. It really makes you think about a well-known series as to which direction it could have gone if they hadn't cancelled the bloody thing. And unfortunately they did for that, which is a shame. Martin, thank you for quite a chaotic episode today. It's been good fun.
Yeah.
And I think as it's a lunatic sort of episode with all sorts of things going on in the world, you know what you need to cheer you up at the end of an episode like this, don't you? Do you know what you need?
Go on.
You need the Chuckle Brothers. So I'm going to play Tinchy Snyder, I think his name is, and the Chuckle Brothers. With To Me To You. To Me To You.
Do you know, just a quick story. I just, when I lived back in Leeds, I had this mate, and he's small in stature, but like small.
Yeah.
And he grew a moustache, and he had a bit of an ego. Really egotistical. I've not seen him in years. And my mate said to him in the nightclub one night, he said, "Do you know?" He was like proud of this tash he had. And my mate said, "You look like one of Chuckle Brothers." But week after he went out, the tash had gone.
To Me To You. Put him with that.
Yeah, I noticed that. No. You got rid of that quick.
Yeah,
he said you look like Chuckle
and he
Brothers.
probably realised that he did. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
There's the Chuckle Brothers in another great show. Thank you, Martin, for being a great co-host. I really appreciate it. We'll be back next week with more mayhem and basically just having a laugh, especially in these times, which I think we all need. Martin, thank you. Enjoy the Chuckle Brothers, and we'll catch you next week on the Solar One Sci-Fi podcast. We'll catch you then.
See you all next week.
Hello.
Hello.
Wait, I swear you're the Chuckle Brothers. You must be
Barry.
And his.
Oh.
Nah, something's weird. Where's your letters?
In the van. Go get him, Barry.
What now?
Yes. Just a minute. It's Tinchy.
It isn't.
It is.
It isn't.
It is.
Is it?
Oh yeah, it's me. Look up there, there's a leak. You're exactly the pair I need. No, wait, in fact, let me ask one question.
One question.
Just one, I respect you both, so you're welcome here. But who or what really brought you here?
Dan. In his van.
Silly question.
Yeah. What a silly question.
Oh, cheeky and rude. I know my role. You play yours too and put them ladders up. Yeah, before you trip over laces, tie up the shoes.
I wear slip-ons. Get the ladders, Barry.
Mate, over here, quick word. Barry's got shoes and they come with laces. You must have both misheard.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear.
Yeah, safe in it.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear.
There's another who's taking it.
To me.
To you.
To me.
To you then.
To me.
To you.
To me.
To you then.
To me.
Yeah.
To you.
To me.
To you then.
To me.
To you.
To me.
To you then.
Oh, just stop with that me to you, to me to you, to me to you stuff. We both got things to do from me to you, to me to you, bruv.
What?
Stop all that me to you, to me to you, to me to you stuff.
To you?
We both got things to do from me to you, to me to you. You two funny dudes. Jokes aside, no pun intended. Mind your own business.
Tis our business. We want to sing a song.
We could do a duet.
There's three of us.
Nah, that's a step too far. In fact, you can rap to the next two bars.
Hibbity hop.
Oh man,
Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear.
yeah, safe in it.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear.
My time, you're wasting it.
So, what do you think, Tinchy? Do you think we should put down a track?
Look, I met you at Keith Lemon's show, you know, and I said I got a leak.
Ah, but it was great, mate. No, I mean, you wanted, didn't he?
Of course, we could sing about a leak,
I don't know
couldn't
about all this
I
doing
know.
songs together.
You see, the thing is, we sing like so.
Yes,
you know,
yes,
something like that.
nah. Let's
Yeah, but
get
we
the
can.
royalties straight.
We sing
Yo,
songs.
please,
Yeah, but,
bruv.
yeah, but I mean, you need to sing with us.
I respect you, but, bro, please.
Oh
Please,
dear,
bruv,
oh
bruv.
dear, oh dear,
dear,
oh dear.
dear.
All right then, Tinchy, we'll see ya.
Yeah, we better go then.
See you then. Bye.
Yeah.
To me.
To you.
To me.
To you then.
To me.
To you.
To me.
To you then.
To me.
Yeah,
To you.
To me.
To you then.
To me.
yeah.
To you.
To me.
To you then.